All right. Well, welcome and good to see everybody. I think a few might trickle in as we go, but it is March and it is NCAA tournament. So I appreciate you giving me an hour and pulling yourself away from the TV. Maybe you're watching the TV while you're here. That's okay too. We're going to talk about free throws today. And I'm going to hopefully have a few different kinds of scenarios, some with fouls, some with violations, some with, this weird thing happened. And so we can talk about it, and we're going to get right into it. If I can figure this out. I'm going to start with, it's one of my favorites. Here it goes. All right, you see what happened? You see those two, 20 white and 24 black? Watch that. I'm going to play it fast again, and then I'll slow it down. Here it goes. What do we see?
Contact.
Elbow.
Is that all we saw?
Oh, look.
Let's watch in slow motion here.
It was in early.
What do we have right now?
Violation.
We have a violation, right? We all agree with that. He's violating before the ball is actually out of the hands. He's stepping in the lane. Okay. Is this a blow the whistle and call it dead?
Not a
Blade.
No.
No, it is not, because it is against the team who is not shooting, the defensive team. Therefore, it is a delayed violation. So we put our arm out, which I think the official did. I don't see it on the screen here, obviously, because it's zoomed.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't. Well, maybe it happened too fast. All right, so he didn't, but we clearly see a violation. Yes?
Yes.
As it progresses, then what does he do?
Then he gets him with a
Yeah,
good
as
elbow.
you all said, he throws his elbow. I don't know if he hits him in the face or not, but something happens and there's a recoil. So do we have a violation here or a foul? How do we adjudicate this play?
Well, I'll tell you what, he hit him pretty high. I mean, that could have been a flagrant foul. I mean,
Could have been. And you're right, there was no delayed violation from anybody. Maybe because it happens so fast, so that's fine. I'm not
I
going
think
to
he gets the free throw again. I mean,
Yeah, you'd have both if you reported the delayed violation and the foul. Because the delayed violation doesn't make the ball dead.
Correct. So delayed violation. And I'm going to go back here. See. And then he throws his elbow. Would you say the ball is out of his hands when contact occurs?
yeah.
I think so. And it's close enough for me to say, yes, the ball's out of his hands. Would we agree with that, everyone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Because if it's not out of his hands, what do you have?
Oh,
You got a dead ball foul. I mean, and
No, it's not dead.
Is the ball dead right now?
No, it's
no,
not.
ball's live.
He left
Okay,
his
so it's
hand.
not, it can't be a dead ball foul. Would you disallow the basket if it went in?
No,
No.
The ball is still in his hands when he hits him in the face. Let's say it happens here.
No, he's in the act of shooting, so it's just like any normal shooting
Correct.
foul.
That's right. Just because it's a free throw does not negate the fact that he is in the act of shooting, and the continuous motion rule applies. So regardless of whether the ball's in his hands or the ball's out of his hands should make no difference on whether the ball would be counted or not. Correct?
Correct.
All right.
Plus the ball, the ball, you got a live ball right now with the guy holding the ball. Ball's
Correct.
live.
Once it is at the disposal of the thrower, and let me throw this in. I don't think I have a video about this, so we'll just say it. Is the ball at the disposal of the free thrower right now?
yes,
No.
When
Well,
does the
if
ball
it is-
become at the disposal of the free thrower?
When he-
When he When he catches touches it. When he catches it.
As soon as he gets possession.
Right. Now it is.
I don't know what the rule, the exact wording is, but once he is holding that ball, he has possession. Now it's at his, so my point is, if we have a kid that walks into the lane right now, that ball is bouncing toward him. you can blow your whistle, tweet, tweet, tweet. Nope. Okay, you're good. Come on in, because it's not technically at the disposal of the free throw. I know we're splitting hairs here, but it's not until he catches the ball. Do we all understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a violation and a foul. How are we going to adjudicate this? Let me go back. Did he make it or miss it? He missed it.
Missed it.
Missed.
Award him another
Clear
free
the
throw
lane,
with the lane
reshoot the free
clear.
throw or 3 free throws and then put 24 black on the line.
If they're in the bonus.
So let's say,
players.
and I don't have this information, but we're just going to make up the information. Let's say it's a 2-shot free throw. Okay. How many more shots are you going to give him?
2.
2.
Right. Because he gets to take that first shot over, right? Because of the violation. And if he makes that, I guess with the 2-shot free throw, he can miss it and still he gets the second. Correct? With
Was
no.
that called a violation though? It wasn't called a violation, it was called a foul.
Correct. But now I'm going to assume that the official has the violation as well. All right. Again, this clip cuts off. We don't see exactly what he reports, but we all agree we saw a violation and then we saw a foul. Yes.
Yes.
Actually,
Okay.
if you look at the C, I think he calls the violation.
I think the C was
If you
putting his hand up.
backtrack it-
I think the C was putting his hand up because the shot was going in and he's going to chop it in as soon as it stops. Do we agree? That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to chop it in, which he should. The lead has a foul, and I'm going to assume the lead also has the violation. So I don't know who said this, but we will take everyone off the lane and allow those free throws, both of them, to be shot. Okay, if it's a 1-and-1, we're going to see if he makes the first one, and if he does, he gets a second. If he misses, then we're done. Do we all agree with that?
Yep.
What happened next in the sequence? Because you have to do it in the order that it happened.
Well, if they're in the bonus, then 24 is shoot 1-and-1.
Correct. If there's a bonus, then we're going to line up the kid who got fouled and shoot the bonus free throws with everyone back in the lane. We're going to resume play with those free throws.
Wait, Josh, why is everybody taking off the lane?
Because when you shoot free throws and there's not going to be any chance of a rebound, then you pull everyone off the lane. Just by rule, you don't have anyone in the lane.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Right. And since he's going to get them, and then you've got to go to the next action. So even if they're not in the bonus and they're going to be, say, an out of bounds play for a throw in, you're still pulling them out of the lane. And then once those shots are retaken, then we go to the point of interruption, which was the elbow, the foul, right, to the out of bounds.
So it'd be on the end line.
It would be on the end line.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everyone got that?
Yeah.
Now, if that official didn't get the violation, okay, he missed it, but I think the foul is probably more important than anything else because, it was pretty, like someone said, he might have, if he hits him in the head, that might be an intentional.
Yeah.
For sure.
Depending on the game, maybe it's a flagrant, right? We don't know, again, the context of the game, but
Hey, Josh,
yes.
from the angle, it looks like the kid in the black jersey has got his arm against 20 white. And so part of his, he's just kind of laying back because there's already contact being made by both of them before the free throw shoots.
All right,
So
hold on.
if you go
Yeah,
back and look, it looks like the kid's leaning into him. There's
Yeah.
definitely contact before the shot is taken, and he steps into the lane. I'm not so sure, because there's already previous contact there. If you just have a lane violation and he was either early in calling the foul, or there's pre-information here that we're not aware of, that these two have been going at it. But if you look at it, they're leaning into each other. They're touching each other already. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
but
no
20
doubt.
is
They're
already
close
in
to each other.
24 space.
Yeah.
20
so-
is in 24 space.
Yeah, and so he doesn't elbow him in the head. He's getting his arm. He's getting underneath the shoulder. Watch, it's the shoulder. He's not hitting him in the head. They're already
Got him
contacted.
high.
there.
You
So-
All
got-
right, I see, I see.
So there's something pre-existing here, and so he's just seeing that, but the arm's already on him, right? He's not elbowing him in the head,
Right.
right? He's getting him probably right around his tricep, or, you know, you can see he's underneath the arm right there. So it's not like he's elbowing his head. So I'm not so sure that we just have a violation here, and potentially, you know, that's the question. That's the interpretation that
You
we're
don't
making.
think
here,
that's a
but-
foul, whether it's his head or his shoulder? I mean, you don't think that he elbowed?
I think regardless of whether he's in his space to start, that is a fouling action. He caused the contact by putting wherever he hits him, he made contact deliberately with his elbow into the other guy. I think that's a foul regardless. Now,
Okay.
you could pass and say, oh, he violated first. You could. And again, we don't know the context. Maybe that would be appropriate in a game where they didn't do anything wrong all game and you can get away with saying, Coach, I got it. All right, guys, settle down. That's possible.
But I'm talking preventative officiating here. You have to notice two guys making contact with each other before, you know, he's got to see those two, and it's probably been going on for a good part of the game, and that's why it's gotten to this point. But you have to see that as an official.
I don't think, Josh, that's not a violation, right? They can lead on each other all they want. The only thing that matters is their foot. Their
I'm
foot
not sure
cannot
they
be
can have
past
contact with
He's in
each
the
other.
lane early. He's in the lane early. I think it's
I
clear.
know, I'm saying, yes, I
No,
understand
but-
that, but I'm saying them just leaning on each other. That's
I
not a
don't-
violation.
Don't think leaning into someone else's space is a foul or a violation. Breaking the plane with your foot or your leg is, and you can't cause contact with another opponent regardless. But I don't think it's written as a rule as if you're in his space. Now, again, I think Mike's point is preventatively before this ball gets, I don't have it far enough, but you can see here as he threw the ball, they're not anywhere close to each other.
Correct.
I'm not going to blow my whistle and say, wait a second, guys, you guys got to clear out because he's already got the ball.
Yeah.
You know, if they've been doing it all game, maybe, but I think Mike's point is maybe get in there and say, now guys, stay out of each other's space. Stop putting your arm on each other, because if you say that, even though it's not necessarily, there's no penalty for it, you're letting those players know I'm watching both of you. And if you do something wanky, I'm going to see it.
Yeah. You just let them know you're there, like you said, like
think-
Mike says. You gotta say something.
And that's just what we don't know. I'm just throwing
Yes,
that out
no,
there. I'm
right.
not trying to
Yeah,
be
that's good.
obstinate or, you know, difficult. That's something we don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, when it comes to context, there's a lot of things that we're just never going to know. But all right, let's move on. That was a good one. All right.
Excellent.
A few of these are all actually, I've already posted on YouTube as single videos, but not everyone has seen them. I'm going to play this one. Here we go. All right. I don't know if you can hear the video. I'm going to go back. The two players down opposite table, 20 black and 22 white. Those are our problem players for this segment. Okay, watch again. Now he blew his whistle dead. And again, I'm gonna put this sound all the way up. Did you hear what he said?
No shot, 22 white violation first.
Correct. 22 violated first. No shot, black ball. Well, let's see what happened. Because he's not violating now, right? He's perfectly in his spot.
Got his hand on the guy's shoulder. No.
What's
And
that?
he stepped out there.
Now he did.
Now he did.
Now you could say here, he's still in his box. It looks like it's near the line. And okay, I'm going to probably be pretty forgiving with something like this. Okay, but he clearly then loses his footing a little and steps on the line.
Good call.
which ultimately draws black in. But we know, right? We know as free throws in the lane spaces go, the first player who violates is charged with the violation, and any other violation, whether they are related or not, it's not exactly how it's written, but any other violation in the marked lane spaces is to be ignored.
Right.
So since white violated first, you don't ignore it, you got to blow your whistle. But if, say, black were to violate and then white goes in, you would ignore it because black violated first.
Gosh, let me be devil's advocate. Why wasn't 20 violated? Because his arm was in front of the white player outside of his box first.
It
Go
doesn't
back.
matter the arm, it's only the foot.
Wait, Mark, say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading this chat.
20's arm was in front of the white player. Why wouldn't that be a violation if he has to stay within his box?
He has to keep his feet in the box.
But not the rest of his body?
No, though. In fact, the rule is I don't know if it's clear or not clear or vague, but it
It's
only
pretty
talks about the feet. All right.
I'm good.
All right. All right. This one's good. I got 2 videos for this one because there's a couple things I want to talk about. Okay, just that. I don't have any slow or any zoomed in. We all saw what happened, yes?
Yep.
33.
33, and look at the other side of the lane.
And 5.
But why do you think they stepped in?
Because the player kind of hesitated. He has a pause in the shot.
Did the player pause to draw those players in?
I think that you'd have to pay attention to how he's
I think so,
all
John.
day. If you deem him as he's faking, then it would be a violation on
don't
him.
think so.
Otherwise,
That's
it's
just
a
his
violation
shot.
on the guys
So
in the league.
we need to know, is that how he normally shoots his free
Mhm.
throws? Or was he doing that to draw them in? Right? And if
Right.
that's the first free throw ever, it's hard to say, yeah, that's how he does it. But we need to know that, because if that's the way, we all know ball players have a routine that they use, many of them, every time. They do it the same way every time because they want to try and get the same results. That might be that kid's routine. I pull it up, I look, and then I shoot it in. All right, now I show that one because this is the same play, but it's a lengthened video. It shows the front end of this 2-shot free throw. Watch the shooter.
Yeah, that's just his routine.
Did he do anything different from the first
No.
time?
No.
No.
No. So the kid clearly was not trying to fake the players in. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's why we need to know how a shooter shoots, because if they're doing it on purpose, it's on the shooter. Or if it's a player in the marked lane space who's trying to fake them in, right? It doesn't matter who. But if they try to fake them in, the violation is on the faker. That was not the case here. We all agree with that?
I'll agree.
All right.
So
Yes.
how would you word that, Mr. Schroeder, if you had to call that on the shooter to tell the coach? If you
If
made
the-
a ruling on that, what would you
I would
tell the
say
coach?
I would say violation on shooter. And when he says, what?
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me? I would say he tried to fake those players in by stopping his shot.
Correct.
And he
Correct.
could
Good.
say, no, that's just the way he shoots. And I'll say, well, coach, then I'll look for it. If he does it again, then he'll be good. But this one, I thought he faked him in. And that's all you can do. It has to be on what you think.
Right.
Usually, to avoid that, I usually let, even if it's the front end of a 1-and-1, I usually let the first one go because I'm taking in that information. Did he do that on purpose? Or is that the way he shoots? And I watch and I take notes in my brain. So the next
Right.
time he gets up, I know that, oh, he did that last time. We're good to go. Or he shot it fluidly last time. He did that on purpose to draw him in. Doesn't always work, but you know, if you can take mental notes when you go through.
For sure.
Every time I've seen a fake, Josh, it's been when after the free thrower gathers the ball after his dribble, he starts his arms forward or up, and then he stops. It's not just gathering and bringing it up to in front of his face to
Yeah,
pause a little bit.
Right. It's
before
usually
he
like
shoots. So there's more of more of an action.
Yeah,
Right. Yep.
I agree. It's usually, like you said, it's usually pretty obvious that that's what they're doing. And if you do have to think to yourself, wow, did he do that or didn't he? He probably didn't do it on purpose. He probably wasn't trying to fake. Not always. Some of these kids are smart, but I think most of these kids, they're not thinking, how can I cheat the system? I don't think. All right. Here we go. All right. First of all, I'm going to play it again. Did you see what happened?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to play it again, and then I'm going to let this video play out so you can see all the things that transpired. What can we talk about this video?
Okay. Can you hear me, Josh?
Yes.
Okay. Did he get into the lane early and then he got pushed? So we're talking about this kid. No, I didn't. Okay, let it
Nope.
go.
I think all the players are legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
looks
you-
like they're all legal, but clearly this kid gets pushed,
All right.
right? I think we're even okay all the way to this point. They're kind of, bumping him with their arms a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
probably still passing, but then as soon as he extends and shoves the kid out of the way, both our officials got that foul. We got a double
We had a
whistle.
double whistle. Yep.
Now, my first question is this an appropriate double whistle? I think so.
Probably. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in the paint, but it's right in the middle there. I mean, the C, it's in the C's, secondary. I mean, you could say it's even his primary.
I think it happens in the C's primary, but the lead, that's what he's looking at. The lead's primary responsibility on a free throw is to watch the rebounding, right?
Yep.
So I think it's totally fine. We've got two whistles on this, two fouls. I don't like the fact that center official is so far away.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
like that.
that's-
I think he should be
C.
in about a third of the way. See where that orange line is? Maybe
Yeah.
not all the way to the orange line, but in toward that orange line. So he's in a little bit closer for this very reason. So if you have to blow your whistle, you're like, I'm right on top of it. I also don't like that both of them blew their whistle and neither of them really moved much. Right? The center starts to walk in, but it's just like a foul in a regular play action. You should be moving toward the foul with your fist up.
He's the center's just pointing where the ball is out of bounds already. That's
Yes.
Watch, he's pointing out of bounds.
Yes. Now, I don't know if he knows that it looks like he's looking right at his partner. So he knows there's a double whistle. All right. Maybe they both know, maybe they don't. But they both start to walk to report. I don't think the lead probably knew. And the center says, wait a second. Okay. Now this is what I like from here on out. This is what I like. They talk over, what do you have? Do you have a violation? Do you have a foul? What happened on your whistle? Because if one is a violation, as we already saw in that earlier play, if you have a violation and then you have a foul after, that's going to change in how you adjudicate the play, correct?
Correct. I mean, that was the first one we did.
Right. You're going to have to let them shoot again and assess the foul after. So I really like the fact that at least one of them, maybe both of them were aware, I don't know, but at least one of them knew and said, okay, let's just make sure we get this right. And we want to make sure we have all the information. Good?
Yes.
Oh, those guys are quick.
I thought that was you. It looks like Josh right there.
Now look, I'm going to start from the beginning again, because this was the point of this video. We have a free throw. They shoot it. Great. It goes in. We have another one coming up. Okay, great. As the center, you don't need to come into the lane and tell everyone that there's one shot. Whose job is that?
Okay. The lead.
The lead. The lead is the one administering the free throw. He's going to come in and let everybody know one more shot, two more shots. Now, I think it's good that you have your finger up one to your partners to make sure everyone knows we've got one more. We're all on the same page, but you're not walking into the lane to tell the players. That's just not necessary. Now, does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt anything. So if you do it, it's not like, oh my goodness, shame on you. All I'm saying is, why take those 5 extra steps to walk in and 5 steps out when your lead's already going to take care of that? We all understand that, right?
Yep.
All right. How about this one? This is a little bit older of a video I made, but this is to give us some context. This is the first shot of a 2-shot foul. Okay?
All right.
Calls a violation. Is it a violation?
Technically,
By
yes.
rule, yes.
Yeah.
Clearly
Yeah,
by
it is.
rule, it's a violation.
He stepped in before the ball hit the rim.
My question, because it is a violation, 100% by rule, but it's the first of 2 shots. Is this something that we should call? And I don't have an
No.
answer for this. I discussed this with my partners, and I have one partner that says, absolutely, 100%. It's a rule. It's one of those black and white. We get it. And another one that says, I don't know. I mean, because what's the advantage? Did he get an advantage by stepping in before the ball went in? That isn't the point to make sure they shoot it behind the line and then not get the advantage of getting a rebound, knowing they're going to miss it. What do you guys think? My other buddy says the reason it's not just black and white, but there might be a rhythm that a shooter shoots. And if he can't control his body moving forward after his shot, well, that might alter his shot. So he just lets him step over. So if he steps over, it's a violation. Did you guys follow that logic?
Yeah. I kind of agree with that.
I honestly don't know. And I think if we call it by rule, we're always going to be supported.
I got it. Hey, Josh,
Yes.
what happens? Okay, you said that's 100% should be called. What happens if it's a tie game and now all of a sudden that shot, which shouldn't count because it went against the rules, they win the game? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a great point. It's a good point. If you don't apply it because you think there's no advantage, is it the spirit of the rule? Is it the intent of the rule? I don't know. But what if that one you allowed and then there was another one you didn't allow for whatever reason, and now you've got, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a good point. And I'm not telling anybody.
I think Josh, I think you gotta call it. There's too much scrutiny. There's too much video. Someone will argue why wasn't it called, right? So I understand that he wasn't going to get a rebound and it didn't help him get a rebound, but he clearly violated the rule, and if he should be that should be taken away. That should.
Right. Absolutely. It's a clear violation. Like you said.
I think generally as a whole, we all agree that should probably just be called. It's one of those black and whites. If it happens, we call it. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, the official called a hit on the arm on this rebound. I'm going to play it fast and then we'll slow it down and take a look. It's a 55-56 game. Both teams are in the bonus. What do you guys think?
I thought 11 came in the lane. I thought it was a lane violation, but I guess we weren't looking at that. But I just saw a lane violation. Didn't 11 get in the lane early?
Well, let's take a look. Where's 11?
Right there on the left-hand side.
Dark jersey.
Okay, the ball is up.
No,
They're
that's
they're-
number 10. You mean the one
Number
opposite
10.
table on the block?
Yeah, yes.
It's really
Yeah.
close, and I think close enough to say he's legal.
Mhm. Yeah, they're allowed to go in on the release.
This
Release,
ball's
yeah.
released right there, and then they all go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going
Okay,
on.
right. Yeah. Okay, at the
Okay.
release. Gotcha.
But I don't think, and yes, he kind of swung his arm. Let's go to the zoom in.
I think, yeah, by rule, that's a foul, but it
He
didn't
kinda
impact
swung his arm.
possession, so I'm passing on that.
Did it
Why do you
affect?
think by rule it's a foul?
By rule, he
And
smacked
I'm
him in
not
the
sure
arm.
center can see it because it's opposite center. I mean, trail. It's
think you
opposite
really-
trail. Who called it?
I mean,
It's hard to say whether he actually hit him or not. I think the trail was sure he hit him. I think the center might disagree. We've got the center's ankle, and it doesn't look like he necessarily hit him.
yeah.
The problem is when these kids do these, big sweeping motions. And I usually tell kids when they argue, I say, well, if you don't swat at it like that, then I don't have to think whether you got him or not.
Right.
Right? If I've got to think about it, I'm probably going to say that you got him. And most of the kids don't understand, but some of them are like, oh yeah, okay, I got you, ref. But regardless, if he hits him here or not, I think it didn't really affect the play, did it?
No.
Not really. He had control and got away. So
Now again,
that's one of those. If you have a slow whistle, you're better than the quick whistle. Be ready to blow it. I mean, if the kid fell down, but he didn't. He controlled it, and the kid backed away, and so yeah, probably let it go.
so on this one, more of what I'm saying is, and it's a rebound. I don't know if that changes things, but I think some people think on a rebound, they don't call anything, and I'm not suggesting that. What I'm suggesting is it's the same play as if the shot went off on, say, a 3-point shot or, a drive to the lane. The rebound should be addressed similarly. And if we're going to pass on that, maybe on a regular play, we should pass on it on a free throw. Now, again, I didn't talk to these officials. I don't know what he thought or if they talked about it. He clearly thought it was a foul and they moved on. That's fine. But what do we allow and what don't we allow? What affects the game and what doesn't affect the game, I think, is what should dictate kind of what we call. So, all right. I like this one because it's my play and I got it 100% wrong. So let's watch and see. Okay, now did you see what the official called? Pretty emphatic about what happened. I'm going to play it again, and then we're going to slow it down.
Yeah.
I mean, he shoves him, right?
Yeah.
Did you see what the
So
player
the ball was already through the basket.
The guy had
So
an
it was a
elbow in
dead
his
ball.
neck.
Call something that has to be intentional.
He's got an elbow in his neck.
All right. That, first of all, that's a great point that the ball went through. It's a dead ball, but that's pretty close. I'm not good enough. Clearly, that's me. I'm not good enough to get that. But
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. That would be an intentional technical foul because it's dead ball contact that was intentionally done.
Exactly.
All right. So that would be the proper adjudication. But since this official's not that good, he called it a lifetime foul on a push. But look what the kid is saying. He's appealing the foul. He's like, wait a second, he's holding me.
Yeah, I was
This
real
was years.
interested in what
This
the
was years
kid
ago,
was
and I
going
still
through.
remember that play. And I'm like, come on, get out of here. It's holding you. You shoved him. All right. Well, let's take a closer look. What is he doing?
He's
Yeah, he
holding
got-
him.
He's holding him. So
See,
yes, the kid's not allowed to shove him like that. But he's frustrated, right? He's getting handled by this kid who probably was doing that, hoping to get some kind of aftermath foul.
and he did.
And
You got
He
it.
did. So here's the point of this play, not to show you like we all screw up or that I'm terrible. I want to show you that there's probably no way or very low possibility of the lead getting that hold. Would we agree? He's stacked to that hold.
Right.
But who's going to probably see that?
Let's see.
The center should be able to see that. And if the center sees that there's a shove after, maybe he was passing on the hold because it was going to end up being a benign situation that goes in and then go the other way. I get that, and I'm totally okay with that. But now there's a foul the other way. I think the C should come running in and blow his whistle with a fist up and say, wait, I got a hold before that. Right? At least get in and talk about it and say, look, the reason he shoved him is he had his arm totally wrapped around his shoulder. Then you could claim that that's incidental contact because everything after the foul of the whistle is to be ignored. Yes?
Yeah, less intentional or flagrant.
Of course, the ball went through the basket, so you could. But assuming you handle it as a live ball situation, I think the center can go, wait, tweet. No. I had a hold. He held him, before that push. And you could even get together, talk about it and say, let's get them both. Okay, you want to handle and get them both. But I don't think if you saw that, and if you didn't see it, you didn't see it. But if you saw that, you should bring some information to your partner.
Okay. Cool.
Just bang them both for a double foul.
You could
Yeah.
totally do that.
Because the center, Josh, had rebound responsibility. Once the ball's been released, that center had rebound responsibility. Even though he had back, but he can also clearly see the inside guy, the inside post player, grabbing the guy around the dang on head, and also see the push at the same time.
But would you agree I don't know if the official saw it or not. I really don't. But if he saw it, I think he was passing on it because the ball went through the basket, and something like that normally is just they disengage and we all move on. And I don't need to call a hold foul that didn't have anything to do with the play. Right.
Yeah.
But except that did turn into something, and it did have something to do with the play ultimately.
And
Yeah,
that's when officials make that mistake, Josh, because of the fact, even though the ball goes in, okay, then clearly something happened. And then that's when we want to pass on things. And then that's when you get the retaliation against the other player. So
yeah,
you get it real quick, and you then alleviate the whole situation. I'm just saying, people want to say, hey, don't put stuff in the game, but sometimes you have to put stuff in the game when it's warranted because of the fact that if you don't, it's going to continue to happen. You can continue to.
That's 100% right. Sometimes you have to insert yourself where you don't want to, because otherwise things like that will happen and even escalate maybe to a possible fight. And that's what we don't want to see.
Exactly.
All right, since we're talking about preventing violations, kind of, that's my segue. Let's watch this one.
Tay Davis getting into it late into this fourth quarter.
And it's going to be a lane violation called on Gabe McNary there. So Butler will have another chance to redeem.
Lane violation on 31. I don't know if you can hear her say it. It was kind of faint, but she said lane violation on 31. So we know it's on that kid on the block table side. Okay, I'm going to go back to the beginning and let's watch that kid and see what happens.
Tay Davis.
Is he moving?
Getting into it.
Is he moving?
Late into this fourth quarter.
Wait, did you see right? Hold on, right before she puts her arms up right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go slow. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Look at his yellow shoe foot, his left foot, watch. Do you think he stepped on the line slightly? Is that,
You
first
saw
of all,
something.
is that worth calling? If he's that close, here's my point. If he's that close to the line before you start and you throw the ball, I think we as officials should say, hey guys, watch your feet.
Yeah.
Look at your feet, because you
Yeah.
know he's right there, because he barely took a step forward, barely. Now, again, we can't see. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but that's what I'm assuming happened, because that's the only movement he took. And then she puts her delayed lane violation out. I think that could have been prevented with a simple look at your feet, guys. Don't stand on that line, right? He would have made sure there was space there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying, again, ignore a violation when it happens. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, I know I said that 3 videos ago. The violation happens, we see it, we get it. But if we can avoid it by letting sure everyone in the lanes are aware of that line and where their feet are. And how many times have you guys gone into a free throw, looked down at kids' feet, and they're standing on the line, either on the side or on the lane line, or some kids are not even like, they're straddling the little mark, you know, of their space, because they're just not paying attention. So if we bring some attention to them, let them know, most of the time we can avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more, and then I didn't get a bonus clip ready, but we got to do a bonus clip. We always do a bonus clip.
You only see that. This ball's still in his hand. I mean, the trail officials.
Clearly a
really
violation.
looking
All
at-
right, we got to
yeah.
see that. That's not what I want to end on. That wasn't fun.
That's a violation.
That wasn't fun
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
That was too easy.
Ada was asleep.
There we
He must have been thinking about something else.
And that's a good point. I don't remember who was talking about when the ball goes through, and that's where we make mistakes. But on free throws, this is where officials take a break, and we can't take breaks.
Nope.
I always say dead ball officiating is harder than live ball, because that's when all the garbage happens. And if you take a break, you're going to miss it. And then that's when you look like a bad official because you didn't see something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just do this one. I don't know how fun this is, but. How often have we seen that play?
Oh.
Right? They're down 1 or 2 and they need to get the rebound and they shoot it and miss.
Try to hit the rim. Nice try.
Right? Clearly a violation if the shooter doesn't hit the ring, which includes the flange on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's an easy one. All right. What should we do for a bonus clip? Should I just?
It's on that play. It's really important to watch the clock, because I guarantee you the clock operator started that when that
That
ball
is a
was rebounded.
great point. We have to be aware of the clock, because it's probably near the end of the game, or maybe the end of the half, but it's near expiration of the time. And that timer probably is going to start it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we need to know, no, clock didn't stop, reset it to 2.5 or whatever it may be.
And that would be the C's responsibility.
That would be everybody's responsibility to know
For
the
not-
time before the free throw was shot.
For not hitting the rim or for checking the time?
For checking the time, because he's the one that's got to start the clock.
Yeah, that's true, but it's everybody's responsibility.
Well,
Because
to know what time,
if the C's not paying attention and you say, well, that's not my job, right? You all look bad as a crew.
No, that's true.
Hey, Josh, doesn't that have to be attempted shot, not a throw?
Well, but if he's throwing the ball
That's a
at
shot.
his own basket, it is considered a try for a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
All
that
right,
was a
thank-
throw. What would you do if it's not a throw? What if he's not trying and he just gets rid of it? What are you going to have? Still a violation.
Yeah,
It has to shoot the ball within 10 seconds and it has to hit the ring,
correct.
right?
Right. Correct.
All right. I'm going to go to something I just clipped. Let's see if I can find something good. Oh, here's a good one. Did I show this or not? I showed this to a player to a friend of mine. I'm just going to let it play and then you tell me what you think.
Ooh. Did he tackle that kid?
Hey, did we see what happened? I'm going to play it fast again before I slow it down. Look at what both officials are doing. Hear the whistles. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. Hear the whistles. Hear what's going on as you're watching.
Oh. Was that intentional? Right there. Okay.
I don't know why that. Oh, I see. That's just okay. Zoomed in. All right. So here we go. It's too bad that scoreboard is in the way.
Yes.
He's going for the ball, totally trying to get the ball. So does that mean it's not a foul?
I don't think he should pass on that.
That's a foul.
That's a clear foul.
Just because you're attempting to get the ball does not give you the right to go through another player. Okay, I don't think that was intentional. I don't think he tried to even hit the kid. He's just trying, he's playing really hard to steal that ball or stop the pass, but totally plows the other kid over. Okay? But here's my bigger point of this play. It happened right in front of the center.
Yeah, and this guy's over here.
Literally right in front of him. And look how far the trail is. The trail is way down there. Look how slow that guy is. But there's no way we should be making that call for the official there. No way. Except he's calling it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Giving it to the other team.
What?
Well, the trail, because he saw the play and is becoming a strong partner to help the game, says, okay, I'm going to run all the way in. And did you see how fast he's running in? I mean, he doesn't just blow his whistle where he's at and says, that's a foul. He comes in. Yes, he ran all the way in, but now what does it look like? We had two officials on that play, right? Run all the way in. That is a point, in my opinion, where you've got to reach far to get, because if we pass on that, it's going to escalate. Either the coach is going to get really upset or that player is going to want to retaliate because he just got barreled over like a football tackle. So know when and when not to reach, but that was one where, wow, that guy, you came from really far. Yes, but if you didn't, that would have been nothing.
Hey, Josh, can you rewind that play?
Sure.
Josh, the reason why I asked to rewind that play because that center official too close on the play.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He's too close.
He's too close to even see that to even see that play even happen. And that's the reason why I asked you to rewind that. He's there. He's on top of the play.
But that's not to his fault. Would you agree? He's running down in transition, and
Correct.
It just happens to happen right in front of him.
True.
And I'm not saying he's a terrible official for missing it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying he didn't have a foul here when clearly I think we all agree that should be a foul.
Yeah, it should have been a foul.
That's a
For
foul.
whatever reason, for whatever reason that he didn't have it, and I agree with you. He's right. I don't think he probably saw exactly what happened. He's watching the ball go out of bounds, and the kid deflected it. And okay, but we can't just say, "Oh, coach, he was right there. He's had the best look." No, everybody saw that. When you talk about the big reach, when Grandma sees that up in the stands, then we need to get that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in that trail official, he should be, as that ball advancing wide in the air, he shouldn't be walking. He's still walking. To me, that's walking. So
well, the rebound is here, and then the trail's like, okay.
and see, he should be almost at the 28-foot mark.
I agree. He should have been moving up faster. Now, let me give this context. I'm not absolving the official of not hustling down the play, but here's the context. You can't see because that scoreboard is all messed up.
I'm tracking.
It was like a 30-point game. The game was decided. Do you see? Look at the foul happened against White.
Yeah.
All right. Look at the White bench. Does anybody get up and say anything or do anything?
No.
Not a thing, because they're so defeated. The game was over. There's nothing that's going to happen. The guy was just, okay. Even when his kid got killed, he didn't even react. So that's probably why the official's like, okay, you know, we'll go down and we got this, game's over. And again, it doesn't absolve the official of not hustling. We have, and that kind of goes to the point of officiating during a dead ball. We can't take breaks. It's a 30-point game, but guess what? In 30-point games, shit happens.
Yeah, all the time.
They do something, they're frustrated, and they give an elbow, and if I'm not hustling down, then I'm going to miss it. And now I look like a terrible official because you missed that. So, yeah, if you take anything away from that, officiate to the end. Officiate to the end. All right, free throws. Not the most exciting topic, but what'd you guys think? Okay?
Yeah, I like
Yeah, good.
Interesting, Josh.
I appreciate you taking an hour away from watching your NCAA ball.
That's what I've been watching and sleeping all day. So just trying to recover from the moment.
Now, let me see. Somebody asked a question. I don't know when this was, but I'm going to read it out. How do we administer interference? A hard box out of the free thrower, clear the lane, and finish the free throws. Interference. What do you mean by interference? Is Dave, are you still on?
Yeah, that came up in the IHSA. Sorry about that, Josh. A few years ago, where they didn't want like the guy that boxed out the free throw. The free thrower's vulnerable to be getting hit.
Right.
That's a violation.
Right, exactly. And
Right.
I'm just, and I read through that administrative document that they send out, and I'm a little confused on how you administrate that. If you clear the lane and let the free thrower go ahead.
So you mean if there's like a foul on the shooter because he broke the plane?
No, in this case, the guy that box out the free throw shooter and hits him as he's continuing his motion after he finishes the motion of shooting the free throw, because he's vulnerable to get hit.
Yeah, the free throw shooter.
The kid trying to box out the shooter, Josh.
So again, you have to follow the sequence of what happened. The first sequence is as a non-shooter defensive player, you cannot break the plane of the shooter's free throw line until the ball hits. I'm allowed to enter the lane, but if the shooter can't cross, nobody can cross the other way either.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So if he crosses over, delayed violation. But if he then causes contact and hits the shooter, foul.
Correct.
So we have two calls, just like in that first clip that we showed.
Oh,
so you administer the violation first, and then you administer the foul. You can't pick one and not the other. I actually have a video on this. If I can find it.
Josh, I have a play, and I saw that, and I ring my officials for it. I forgot what game it was. It was this season. It was a 2-shot foul. The shooter, the free thrower shoots the ball, misses. Oh no, he misses the ball. He misses it, and then I think the defender then makes contact with the free thrower after the ball. After the free throw was unsuccessful, of course, the free thrower falls down. Okay, and then I forgot what they did wrong. I say, hold on. There's clearly a foul. Why didn't they administer the freaking free throw, or whatever the case may be? Oh no, not the free throw. Why they give them a free throw when they shouldn't have, because the try was unsuccessful? I don't understand that. I said that.
This video. This might help just provide a visual at least as to what we're talking about.
Okay.
Dave, is that what you kind of what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so these
Exactly.
officials, I don't know what happens. He comes in, they say something, they all come out and say, okay, next shot.
No,
They got nothing.
that's wrong.
And they rebound and they
both.
okay, and they
Callaway.
move on.
No.
And someone in the stands.
That's a foul. I can hear that. in
Did
the
you hear the
stands.
guy in the
Wow.
stands?
Yeah.
All right, so this is what's happens. Look, we've got a shooter. First of all,
Probably a
look
violation.
at that. He's violating before. I mean, it's close. I'm going to
Yeah.
probably allow that, but he's violating before he even, lets it go. But fine,
Yeah.
we'll say he didn't violate. He crosses the line.
Now he did.
Clearly
he
a
violates.
violation here. Do we
Yeah.
agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then continues to box out a shooter who is vulnerable, which is the whole reason that is a foul.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to administer in the order that it happened. We've got a delayed lane violation. We're going to line it, take everyone out. We're going to shoot those 2 shots over again, and then we're going to administer the foul. Okay, now the question is it a shooting foul or not?
No.
No, because he's not airborne, right? The ball's gone. He's not airborne, so he's not in the act of shooting anymore. So if they're not in the bonus, it'll just be out of bounds. So he's going to shoot shots without anyone in the lane, and then it'll go out of bounds. If they're in the bonus, then you'll line everyone back up again and shoot the bonus free throws.
Very good.
Correct.
It's a little.
I'm going to add to that, Josh.
Just remember, violation happens first.
Yeah.
It's a foul. You can't pick one. And in that clip, it looks like they said, well, the ball went in, so it's nothing. Right? But it's not nothing because he fouled him. And if you get the foul, you also have the violation.
Correct.
Actually, well, he made the bucket, right? So you don't have to shoot that one because he made the bucket. The violation will be ignored.
Right. Violation be ignored.
All right, but if he missed it,
So
you would.
that's
shoot
a
it.
great call for the. That's a great call for the trail to make, because as soon as the ball is released, the lead starts looking at the rebounders on his side, and the center looks at the rebounders on his side, and nobody watches the free throw shooter anymore. And the trail needs to help pick that up.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to change that mechanic in the book. In the book, it's all the center. The center has so much to look at.
Yeah.
But the
I
trail
agree.
has
And the trail is left looking at the people standing out by the center court or the division line. And unless they're running in because it's late in the game and they're trying to grab a rebound, they don't violate in the way that you're really ever going to have to call it.
And somebody told me once the Federation mechanics book are just guidelines. They're not rules. They're telling us how we should officiate. But if we've got something that works better, then we should do that. And that's kind of to the secondary defender. I've had this conversation before. Nowhere in there is there secondary defender, except on a pass and crash. They talk about, that. But the point is, doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, because we know that there's a better way to work it. And they're just the guidelines to help us officiate. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean do whatever you want, but that's what pre-games are for, right? So we all are on the same page when we start the game. All right, get back to watching your bracket get busted a little bit more.
Gosh, thanks.
Oh, should I pull up the training schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next training session is April 20th, which again is the 3rd Thursday of the month. I say it every time. Remember, every meeting is always the 3rd Thursday of the month, and it's always at 7:00. So even if you don't get my notice when I forget to send it out, it's going to be the 3rd Thursday of the month. And we're going to talk about jump ball. I'm hoping that'll be a good one, because I got some fouls on a jump ball. I got some violations on a jump ball. I've got some bad mechanics on a jump ball. I've got some really bad tosses on a jump ball. My videos are all excellent tosses.
That's your favorite thing to do, is throw
I'll
the ball
show
up,
you
Josh.
some perfection when you. Yeah, it's funny. Me and my crew, we really love the toss. If we get a good toss, I think it's because it just sets the tone, at least for the crew. Nobody else notices, but the crew's like, wow, yeah, that was a good toss. And we just, you're up, you get off on the right foot. So the jump ball, if you screw up a jump ball, it's not good to say how the rest of the game's going to. Doesn't mean you can't recover, but. So that's what we're doing. So hopefully you can make it, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Josh.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Josh.
Josh.
Thanks, Josh.